Hello, welcome back to what is the third episode of the Freeman miniseries slash campaign. We have the same players as we did last time, so let's get into meeting those characters. We'll do a quick recap and we'll get into this game. Justin, who are you playing today?
Hey, I'm playing Fizzlewitz Bellbottom, the halfling? Yes, halfling. Artificer.
Final answer?
Yes, final answer.
Alright, Ariel slash Lady Knight, who are you playing?
I am playing a 4-year-old Warforged, a mix of monk and cleric.
Alright, and last one, James slash the Turin one, who are you playing?
I am playing a half-elf bard known as the fastest flute in the West. His name is Cyrilidae.
Cyrilidae. And this time I will actually say that with 100% confidence and accuracy throughout the stream, so help me.
As long as you're confident, it doesn't matter how you pronounce it.
Exactly.
Just know I will find you.
So, last time you guys made your way through the Fallen Ground Shaker. You dealt with the bodies. You got some biofuel back, and everything seemed like it was going very well. And you even had a small meeting with the captain, and he explained that you'll be in charge of this wizard that they're picking up, who is from Frisil.
He had the floppiest ears.
Yes, the floppiest ears. No one seemed like they had any problem with that, and the next day, as luck would have it, and timing happened to work out in these things, you came across where he was hiding, which seems to be some sort of sand dune. And the wizard in question is named Henry. He's some sort of rabbit folk. So was brought on to your mini ground shaker, and you escorted him back towards Tick Tick. After that, you guys were just heading back to where you're staying for the night, which is your small house, table still well divided to set clear boundaries. And as you come up to it, Henry just kind of speaks up and goes, I was actually a little curious as to what it would be like here, and I'm pleased to see that Tick Tick is indeed more mechanical than bio. This is your humble abode, is it? Who's giving me the tour?
I'll show you around. Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's fantastic. You're also from Israel, or are you Freeman as well? You're hard to place. I understand this one, and he points towards the Wolford, is Freeman. You definitely don't look part of it, he points towards Cyrilidae. But you're hard to place. Master Halfling, or what should I call you guys? You have my name, yes?
Oh, yes, we didn't introduce ourselves. So sorry about that. My name is Fizzlewitz Bellbottom. I'm going to Chick. That's Chick. And that's Cyrilidae.
I'll give a gracious bow.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. And you are Ithral or Freeman?
Ithral, myself.
Ithral. Oh, good to know. Good to know. But please, continue with this tour. Don't let me keep us out here for too long. And he just kind of moves behind you guys to let you go
I'm
first.
gonna take off the faceplate that covers my flesh face and gesture around the room like, there is the table. That side is good for eating, the other side is good for making things.
And of course,
Those are shelves with belongings for your bio things to eat. That's Sear's room. I don't know who else has claimed which room. I haven't bothered to check. I just know that he doesn't like me going in his room because I make a mess.
I've just been crashing wherever myself.
of course, you purity little ones don't like to have your own space. I like to keep mine nice and organized. Everything has its place, as well as myself. That is on the bed.
Your
Question for
place
the
is
DM.
trying my patience.
Yes.
How does Henry react to taking off its faceplate?
He's definitely like put quite a bit of space. Roll an insight check for me.
12 plus 4, 16.
16. You can tell he's definitely out of his element, and he's kind of more or less attached himself to Seal the Day, as they seem the most normal for him. So I wouldn't say he's cowering behind him, but he's definitely protectively placed himself in a defensive way with Seal the Day between him and Chick Chick.
For those of you that don't remember, my character has a face that would have been human. It's very scarred. One of my eyes is actually a machine eye inside this mess of scars. And the whole body, it's just mixes of metal and sewn together flesh.
You look like
But you have a shining
person.
personality.
Yeah,
No, they don't.
an amazing personality, just the best.
It looks like fell into a slap chop mixed with a radio.
Right.
I look like if
Something from Hellraiser?
RoboCop was made in a biopunk game.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Very good.
okay. Right, so he just kind of looks around, and then he just kind of like taps you on the shoulder, Seal a Day, and he goes, and I'm staying where? Am I just set my stuff up wherever? I could also set up someplace else for me to stay if you want, but it's up to you guys and where you want me.
No. I would love to house you here. We do have the one spare room if you would like. If you're not super comfortable exploring that half of the house, and I'll just kind of gesture towards where all the bits and pieces are lying around from people like crafting and building. You are free to take up residence in my room. I can always make an accommodating space. Your house, our house, Roswell, is your house.
Well, thank you. I think I'll check out the guest room. I was just told I need to stay with you guys at all times while aboard this lovely craft, and that you would be accompanying me onto wherever it is that I need to go as we continue to our destination.
As per our captain's commands, yes, that is the job. But I still must visit people around the building. Our lovely ride here has many venues for me to play at.
Okay, well, I could stay here. I could follow you, unless any of you guys are. What would make you guys most comfortable? I just don't want to be stepping on your toes. And he
So long as my joints are well oiled, I am always comfortable.
Lee, I could go for a beer or an ale or whatever they have here.
It's actually just at the tavern before we left, and they seem to have quite a haul for drinking, if that's what you're looking for.
Just don't ask what it's made out of. Just to be safe, you know.
I'd rather not find out.
As
But-
long as it gets the job done.
By the way,
what-
the tavern you were playing at was called the Grinding Gears Tavern.
The Grinding Gears Tavern, beautiful.
Well, I mean, I'm
Well-
perfectly happy going for like a little night out, if that's what you guys want. I'm not sure if you want me to say more or less, or, but anything like that. If you have any questions, I think I'd be glad to answer them as best as I can, and I'm sure you guys will be just as forthright with me if I have any inquiries, right? Well, we're friends here.
Of course.
Oh,
If you feel free to make yourself at home, speak up, do whatever you need to make yourself comfortable. We'll be seeing quite a bit of each other, so there's no point in pussyfooting around things, shall we say.
Okay, well, should I change, or is the rest of this place rather clean, or like how should I dress for this tavern, this occasion?
I'd say wear your finest clothes. You can never show just how wealthy you are, otherwise.
Oh, I don't.
Make a show of things.
He looks
What's the
towards
worst thing that
you,
happens?
Fizzle, to see like how you're responding to this. He seems a little unsure.
I'm trying to keep a straight face.
It is unnecessary to protect yourself from the elements while on this ship.
So,
And
find
as always, Sir Day looks in perfect condition. He's clean. His clothes are clean. They're ironed and straight and fresh. I always smell good.
So
Hair
pretty
is
much as
perfect.
soon as you get on or off of one of these ground shakers, you're like immediately cleaning
Taking
your
care of my appearance.
Right.
Yes. That is first. I have holsters for my comb. Yes, I'm taking care of my appearance.
next to the flute, or
It's on my other hip. My
yeah,
flute is on my right leg. My utensils and other various things are on my left.
but it's just plain
Nope,
leather.
I
Okay,
accidentally grabbed the wrong thing. Yep.
okay. So with that, Roswell just kind of goes, I'll maybe hedge my bet, and I'll wear something nice though. And he starts walking towards a room, and he like looks towards you, pointing towards it, like, is this the one?
Yes. That's one. Make yourself at home.
Okay, I'll be just a minute. Thank you. With that, he kind of exits the room, and you guys are just kind of all once again alone without him. Do a few.
So, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So, what do you two do for fun? Is it just building and sulking in the midst of the oil? Do you actually do anything fun? Do you ever cause any rowdiness?
Well, building stuff is fun, but if you want even more fun, then usually I blow things up.
That's fun? That's dirty.
No, it's a lot of fun. You know what? Next time we go out, I will show you how fun it is.
Then be my guest. Lead the way.
Well, I
I
meant
find
out
fun
of town. I'm not going to
unnecessary.
blow something up in our town.
Well, why not? You said it's fun.
It is, but I don't want to damage this place. I've learned from my mistakes about that. Let's just say that. Leave it at that.
All right. Well, I'm feeling a little... How do I put this in the most polite way possible? I feel like fucking with some people today. So, Conrad,
Yes. Good try.
remember
Not
the-
quite.
remember the half-elf I talked to on our first day here?
Yes.
He was standing over the boxes, over the crates.
Yep.
Can I use my disguise kit? And since I have actor as a feat, can I mimic his voice because I talked to him for a couple minutes? Or do you want it to be a recent thing?
We can
Like,
make it
I
a
need-
performance with advantage.
Okay.
You know. So are you referring to the guy that helped you rob someone?
No, that was a goblin.
Okay.
The half-elf is the one that said if he sees me around, that he was gonna keep an eye on me.
Yes. Okay. So you want to rip off that guy? Got it.
Yes. I want to use my disguise kit. I want to go into my room and use my disguise kit and try and make myself look like him.
All right. I believe disguise kit. It can either be charisma or it can be a dexterity check with your proficiency if you're proficient with it.
I'm going to use my charisma.
Okay.
So do you want me to roll a d20, or is it...
I mean, it's a skill check, so yes, please.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to make some extra room on the table, since now we have a house guest.
Very nice of you.
24.
Very nice of you. 24. And are you doing anything in particular, or just kind of waiting around?
I'm sorry, my internet keeps cutting out. I need to switch to my phone real quickly because I missed everything you guys have been saying.
It's amazing how you can actually sound like a Warforged.
The wonders of technology.
What were you
Oh, I was asking
Maybe
if
just skill.
can you hear us now? Are you good?
Yeah.
I was asking if there was anything was doing in particular while Fizzle was clearing some table, making a little extra room, and Cioliday has gone off to their room.
Oh, I am ruining that attempt to get extra space by working on a spare leg for myself.
Okay, so you start clearing away space, and as you're doing this, you watch as they just go, oh, and they just reach under the table and pull out exactly a spare leg. If you'd like to describe it, anything in particular about it, or if not,
It looks like these legs would be very good for jumping in places. You get the feeling that like I'm mostly making this for fun because they would definitely sink knee deep in the sand.
You're just being prepared.
Yeah, like what if I need to be somewhere that doesn't have a lot of sand but needs to be jumped around a lot? Then I've got new legs.
but it's only one spare leg you have right now, right? So
Yeah, I've only got one started. It's still a prototype, but I have an idea. I've got some blueprints.
okay.
It's a work in progress, Billy.
Okay.
I'm also glaring at that doll that I had picked up that's like two different dolls mashed together, and I'm glaring at it, clearly trying to figure something out to deal with it as I work.
Solid.
Yeah.
All right. So after a few minutes of this, Cioliday, you come out of your room, and to Fizzle and to it's actually a very passable change that he's made in himself. I mean, I don't recall if you guys were around, so you might not even recognize exactly who he's trying to look like, but it definitely like he's put on an outfit, he's put on a different appearance.
Like, how
I'm
good is
going
it
to
though?
assume
It's
that
quite
it's an
good.
intruder and not Cioliday.
I mean, you saw him go into his room and come out, but yeah, you could still guess that if you want. Assassins?
I'm going to look at him for a minute, tilt my head to one side, and be like, "Are you sleeping with Cioliday?"
Yeah, who are you?
Ah, my friends. I told you I wanted to cause a
We
little
are
havoc.
friends. I do not know you.
Oh, wait. Listen to the voice.
I told you I wanted to cause a little bit of havoc today. Am I going to wear my own face? No. I put on someone else's face and pin them for the blame.
So
I was unaware that you were able to switch your face plates like I am.
No, just a wig, a little bit of makeup.
it's a lot of makeup.
Notice the cheekbones.
It looks like he's changed his skin tone by about 3 to 4 tones to match the weathered look of the Freeman. It's a lot of makeup.
A lot.
At this point, Henry opens the door and he comes out, and he's wearing a very nice robe. He has like several seals on one of his breasts. His left shoulder in particular has like several scrolls hanging there. He has a very big staff. He has a super tall hat, just kind of bent slightly at the top. And he looks at you guys and goes, I think I'm a little overdressed then, if this is your guys' finest. I'll be a moment
I do
longer.
not possess an alternative body to change into.
Finest. These are my only clothes.
I'll be right
Sleep
back.
in those.
Well, yeah.
Haven't you heard of cleaning your clothes? Having another set of clothes to wear?
I just get too busy.
So you have one outfit.
Yeah.
Goodness, that's disgusting.
You've seen me fall asleep at the table plenty of times. Well, maybe
I've
not
technically
plenty,
been
but
naked this entire time.
Yes, but I assumed that you'd go to your room and change out, even if it was a identical outfit. I myself have 4 of the same outfit because I know what suits me.
At this point, Henry comes out a second time. Same robe, but he's
Oh.
lost all of the seals that he had, and he just kind of looks at you, Fizzle, and he goes, I'm just curious. I heard that. What do you wear when your clothes are getting washed? You know, it's not important. Never mind. So where are we going?
The
Am I
halfling just looks
supposed to
visibly
join you?
confused.
Yes, I do. At that question, though, I'm gonna turn to Sirlade. That's a good question. Where are we going?
Just the other day, I myself went to the Grinding Gears Tavern. It's just down the way. There's quite a few happy souls there. They seem to have ale. They seem to have some sort of stools. I mean, it's good as any. Yes?
I was going to say, can you just do me a favor and roll me a percent die?
Definitely can. If I know how hands work. 39.
39. All right. So that Henry just kind of looks towards you and goes, "All right, well, I'm ready to go whenever you guys are, so I guess lead the way."
Are we all going?
Of course, of course.
Oh yeah.
Just remember, I am not Sirlade. And I'm just gonna give like a little wink and bow my head out the door.
I
Henry,
am very confused by the concept of a wink.
Can you wink? Like, do you have the physical capability to do it?
This one still has an eyelid.
Then you should be able to do it. You know what? We'll practice that tonight.
I'm just gonna wink at you
roll a
because I
performance.
only have one eyelid.
Roll a performance check.
It should be easy considering I don't have another eyelid.
I know.
You're
that-
Even
always
if
winking at us.
I have an idea.
Was
Don't
that
you
a
worry.
wink or a blink?
It's a nat one.
That one. Oddly enough, you've had a few surgeries now and again, and your skin's actually been pulled tight enough that when you try to wink, the eyelid can't go all the way down, and instead you just kind of look like you're half asleep when you wink.
I feel like that would be a design flaw though, because how am I supposed to moisten my eye in the hot fucking desert?
Good question. Good thing you usually have a faceplate on, eh?
Yep.
Little spray bottle of water.
Lengthens tongue to lick it like lizard.
Ugh. We'll practice that tonight after I've had a drink or two. How about that?
Just lick your own eyeballs. Oh, boy.
But it was indeed that moment when you realize without your faceplate, this could be a design flaw, and you might need to get the opposite of a facelift. Make it a little saggier. Please loosen skin around eye.
I'm gonna like grab my eyelid and just like shove it around, trying to like make myself look like I'm blinking.
Alright, so are you?
There, I have accomplished the task.
Maybe we need to add a little bit more skin in that area. Something to work on later. And I am going to follow Sirlade, or whatever he's going to call himself tonight.
Do people celebrate birthdays in your world, Connor?
Depends where
Like
you're
our-
from.
Okay, so they are a happening. Okay.
Yeah, especially like where you two are from. You know, it's pretty common to celebrate birthdays.
So yeah, I think I'll lead us down to the Grinding Gears Tavern.
All right.
I'm going to quickly, like, as we're walking, I'm gonna have each hand braid the hair on one side of my head. Just then I have, like, it pulled back into little braids.
Okay.
But that's about the extent of my character getting dressed up.
Solid. So you show up well braided before you arrive at the door, and it's decently busy. For you at least. I mean, to these two, it seems almost dead with maybe like 10 people, but to you, you're like, this place is packed.
We will be tripping over others all night.
I need to save this picture and give it to Ariel because that's what I imagine. I'm sorry to derail the campaign, but
No, I think he just... Oh, he went to the general chat. He's confused and lost.
Hitting the wrong buttons.
Help! I don't know where I am. I don't know what I'm doing.
Should we just wait and see how long it takes him?
Oh, I think we should.
I thought that was the plan.
Never mind. Damn it.
Should I check the game chat? I think it could be prudent to this.
Oh my
It's nothing.
God.
It's nothing offensive, right?
No,
no,
it is.
no.
I just want to make sure.
That's and you cannot convince me otherwise.
I mean, I did a quick like sketch of my character at one point, so like you can kind of see like she has like short hair.
Okay.
You don't look anywhere that cute. Don't lie to
No.
me. I found the picture of you.
Chick
I
and
don't
cupboard.
think I look like that either, so
Alright.
But the tavern seems to be pretty busy.
Yeah, like I said, there seems to be about 10 people there, including the bar staff, which seems to be one person behind the bar and then another person serving. Everyone seems to be humans, and then there's like one or two goblins here and there among the crowd. And everyone seems like they've moved off into their own groups. There seems to be... Let me start again with a better description of this tavern's layout. So you guys walk into this place. There seems to be about 10 people, including the bar staff. There's a big open spot on the floor, and all of the tables are lined up on either side. It's more like an aisle, and you can see that the tables are bolted down. Same with all of the chairs are also fixed to the floor, but they have swivels instead, so you can get in and out of the chairs as needed. This is
Okay.
common for the Freeman, being as you don't want loose tables on a moving city.
In the middle of the
taken out by
aisle,
a table.
in the middle of the aisle, is there a low-hanging ceiling, or are there like rafters, I-beams? What does it look like vertically above the aisle?
Above it, it's just a big open space, and there's lights inset along the top, and there's like quite a few wires hanging here and there. You can also see this one being more mechanical than bio, but there are quite a few more like veins mixed in along the wires that help to lubricate with wherever it is that they are going.
Okay. I would like to lean back and whisper to the party. Make sure to stay away from the... You'll know it when you see it. And I'm going to walk up to the... Is there like a single person that's bartending, or is it like... are there servers wandering around that we talk to?
There seems to be one servant they're currently often talking, and then behind the bar, there's a human. Their back is turned to you, and you can just see they have kind of like a mohawk with the sides of their head shaved, and their back is turned to you right now, and it looks like they're just counting their glasses and making sure that everything's there.
Okay. I would like to go up to the bartender, and I'm going to kind of turn my back to them for a moment, and I'll clear my throat, and I'll be like, "Drinks on me!"
He turns
And then
around
I'll-
and he looks at you and goes, "Fred, what the fuck are you doing here? You haven't fucking paid your tab for the last 2 weeks. I told you to get out of here.
But
I don't want another word unless you came here with my fucking silver. Out!"
I'll just put 10 gold on the counter.
He just kind of
Enough.
stops and he kind of looks around and he leans in and he goes, "Fred, where the fuck did you get this money? You're not stealing again, are you?"
No. I happen to have come across a,
"Fred, I know what you're about. You're always fucking down there, going through the crates, grabbing fucking things that don't belong to you. Where did you get this money?"
I happened upon some things that...
"Fred,
No
Stop
one.
playing fucking smart with me and drop the fucking slimy accent. Where did you get the money?
I'll lean and whisper
And
to
he
him.
like looks over and he goes, "You two, are you fucking in on this? Did you set him up?"
I am unaware as to what is happening, but the money is his own, honestly earned.
I just came in for a drink.
You came in with him though, didn't you?
They were behind me. I wouldn't say we were together. And about the accent,
Yes, this
I'll
was
lean
quite
and
annoying.
whisper. I'm working on some things.
What? Make a persuasion check.
16 on the die, and expertise in persuasion. So that is a 26.
26. Fred, I'm glad you managed to get this money, and I'm hoping it's a new leaf you're turning over here. But if you need help, all you got to do is ask.
I'll give him a little pat on the cheek and be like, of course. I would always go to you in case of problems. But take this gold, square away my debt, and then drinks for everybody in the house.
Works enough for me. And he just kind of like straightens his posture and he scoops the gold off, and he just kind of like turns around and he starts grabbing a bunch of cups off of the rack, and he sets them all up in a line and he starts pouring.
And I'll just be like, come on, come on! And I'll start just like raise my voice and gesture for everyone who looks at me to like come up and get a drink.
Yeah, I mean, there's no pause. It's odd, you know, you're used to like rowdy taverns, but the Freeman, instead of like getting up or crowding this place, they all just kind of like nicely form a line, and it's like they're a lot more prepared and drilled, and they're used to like staying out of their way, you know. So they're actually
Yeah.
very, very polite about the way they arrange themselves.
I want to keep feeding them drinks until they start getting rowdy like I'm used to.
I'm going to eye
I got
one
the
of the
gold.
games.
I'm just fixing my dog's
I
bed.
point out to you guys, I don't believe I have ever had any of this before. At least, I don't recall it.
It'll put hair on your chest.
That is impossible. My chest is cured flesh and metal.
Then do you want to drink until you find out? Could happen. Drinks on me.
I'm gonna shrug and just throw one back and pick up a second.
Alright, goes down easy enough for you. Do you think has particularly good taste still?
Probably, like, most of that area of their face is still, like, what it used to be.
Alright, well, it's a very rough drink that goes down. It would probably be comparable to a whiskey, but it's a little thicker than that. It's almost like it's mixed down with something. I wouldn't quite say slimy, but it is definitely a viscous sort of fluid.
Okay.
Yeah, you like that description? Not much of a shooter, more of a slow sipping whiskey, if you know what I mean. And yeah, so
I am throwing them back. I assume that this is meant to be drank the way you attempt to oil your innards.
Can you make a con saving throw after like your third drink?
I'm gonna hang on to this one for a few minutes, give it a bit of a moment, and then throw back the second one.
Okay, well, when you get to your third, let me know. But everyone else is gone. And actually, like, the first guy gets there and he grabs a drink and he passes it to the guy behind him. And they actually just kind of, like, pass it down the line sort of thing. And you can see they're actually all even, like, staying close to the tables. As if, like, if something was to go wrong, they're ready to grab the edges. You know, everyone kind of just avoids the big, empty middle space.
I want to see how deals with the alcohol, but I'm basically going to wander from the actual bartender and his area, and if I see any space on tables that is empty, not filled with beer, I'm taking one and putting it there. I'm just gonna basically hoard them and put them over Because I
Okay.
want everyone to get shit-faced.
So you just want to keep feeding drinks to these guys as well?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely. If I see anybody walking outside, I'm going to gesture for them to come in, and I'm going to feed them a drink.
All right. And Fizzle, what are you doing while Seal Day is trying to get everyone toned?
Bread.
I
We're trying to
had
get the
intended
entire-
to talk to Henry, but now I'm just sipping on my drink and watching, fascinated, wondering if the alcohol is actually going to affect this biomechanical being.
All right. Fair. Henry is probably seated next to you. He's gone off to a table. It doesn't look like he's touched his drink. And if he does, you can see he casts like a little spell over top of it before he does take a sip.
Okay,
Um,
I'm going to start on my third and see what happens.
All right.
That is 17.
17. You're holding it, but like you do feel a little affected in your nerves, particularly along like your hands and your toes. It almost feels like you're going numb, but I'm trying
Can
to
I try to
figure out.
What?
Sorry, I was just wondering something about your character, and particularly like your modifications. How deep do they go for most of your body? I know we discussed it a little bit, but what's kind of like under the hood there? If we had to get into the nitty gritty here.
I imagine. I honestly imagine my character like is. They don't have most of their skin anymore. What could be salvaged was turned to leather and used to coat their bio body. They do still have their head, the majority of their brain.
Spinal column.
I don't know. I don't know, honestly.
Kind of need that.
Well, we'll say
Speaking
for the
as
sake of it,
Justin, not
and-
Fizzlewit.
and like I think at this, make another con saving throw. We'll let that decide if you're more machine or more human underneath all of it. What'd you get?
I got an 8 on the die, so that's 11.
11? Okay, so the first thing you get is you kind of just get like a little bit of a numb feeling through some of your nerves, and it's okay. And then, you finish the third drink, and by then your speech is still getting a little more slowed at this point, and you're definitely having trouble focusing. Your brain is definitely more human than robot still.
Can I try and do a sleight of hand?
What about my nerves and the rest of my body? Have we decided how machine is now?
Like I said, about wherever you still have skin, particularly on your fingertips and stuff like that, was going numb. So you do have nerves for that, but more metal parts probably not. What do you want the sleight of hand for, Sealiday?
I want to take some hairs, and I want to effectively bedazzle Chick's chest. I told them to put hair on their chest.
Okay. Where do
never
you
said they would
intend to
grow
get
it.
this hair from? Your
I'll
disguise
rip
kit?
out my own. I'll take some off my fucking wig. Just anything, just like
Alright, so you just want to start like pulling some hairs out. And how do you want to affix this to the metal robot? You don't.
I just want them. Actually, you did mention that the drinks are a little viscous, so I'm just going to like dip them and just kind of like
Okay.
kind of haphazardly splotch them on Chick's chest.
Okay.
I don't want to draw attention to it. I just want to do it so when they look later, they're like, "Fuck."
Yeah, sure. Roll a sleight of hand.
Added some hair to the sketch I was working on of
That's a nat
make that a
20.
bigger
So
can you roll a perception with disadvantage?
Yes, I can.
yeah, so that's a 30 for sleight of hand.
30 for sleight of hand.
I know I can't beat that, but I want to get in on it anyway.
Okay.
That's actually only a 17.
Rock.
17 with disadvantage.
Oh, what is that? Oh my god. Well, it doesn't matter because he rolled so high. Natural
How do
20,
numbers-
but it doesn't matter.
How do
My
the, how do
insight still
numbers
isn't
work?
that high.
Right. So, as the night's going on, a few people actually just kind of leave early as they start to get drunker, but they do thank you on their way out. And you even get like a few nods and people like, good to see doing better, Fred. Comments like that in that sort of line.
Is
Um,
anybody getting a little rowdy?
like I was getting there. There are a
Okay.
few people, and so far about as rowdy as it gets. Is there's a bit more like talking in like louder voices. A few people have brought out games, but it's a little weird with the way that the Fremen are playing. The tables have lips around them, and you see also some of them have like cards are very very common, but like when you see someone throwing or building other things. They just have these weird boxes they pull out that accompany most of the games that they're playing. No one's gotten super rowdy yet though.
Okay.
Except for
And
I'm going to.
you would be aware that the reason that not a lot of people get super rowdy is because of this being a machine. There tends to be certain duties that need to be kept up. Especially on the more mechanical ones, they tend to be drilled a bit tighter, and you're supposed to be more respectful. And actually, it's almost seen as kind of a temple, given some of the way the engineers view these things. But you also know that if you go to like Wool, where it's mostly goblins and it's very, very heavily bio, it's a lot more of a shit show. But here, you still have a bunch of people that are like, I don't really want to get on an engineer's bad side. I don't want to disrespect this. I might need to go to work in the morning. So they are getting rowdy for Freeman, but they are very, very reserved, it seems, on this place.
Okay. I'm going to.
I'm stumbling around a bit, and at one point I stumble into Sealaday, and I grab onto him, and I stare up at him with one wide eye and the other one glowing blue and humming a little bit with electrical energy. And I tell him, this is just like my old ship when we were on water.
Can you make a deck saving throw for me, Sealaday?
I understand. What does? That's a 6. 4 on the
6.
die.
A bunch of the hair that you've managed to place that's been slowly sliding
Damn
down
it.
this breastplate kind of ends up on you as they stumble into you. It's almost like this weird little bear hug, and now you're both covered in pieces of your wig.
And boo.
And booze.
I would like to try and like abruptly break myself from it, and then I want to wander around and ask about people's birthday.
Okay. While you're doing that, Henry's just gonna quickly look at you, and he's gonna go, so you said while you were on water, what do you mean?
No, I was on. It was a city along coast, and sometimes we went on the water not very well, but we tried.
That's very interesting. Okay. Fizzle, are you just hanging around listening in at this point?
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
and what is Sealaday's intent with the whole birthday thing?
I just want to see if it's anyone's birthday, so I'd be like, I'll just be walking around trying to get people's attention. Like, is it your birthday? Your birthday? And I want to like start bringing drinks over.
Okay, so you're still just feeding the drinks. Oddly enough, it is one guy's birthday, and he currently already has a drink in his hand, but he
Okay.
invites you to join them when you return with the other drink.
I want to like sit next to him, and I just want to kind of talk to him and the few people around him. It's a bit of a thing from back home, and I'll just kind of gesture vaguely. That whenever it's someone's birthday, we'd always do something to celebrate. Can you do that for me? A little taste of home, you know. I'm a little homesick.
I sure, Fred. What exactly is this celebration, and which home are you talking to? I thought you came from.
Yes, it's my parents' home initially, not where I was born. It's an old family tradition. It's a little silly, but you know, I'll just be very vague about how I'm stating it.
Yeah, sure,
But
Fred. What is it? I mean, you've been buying us drinks all night, so it's probably the least we could do.
okay,
Even though it's my birthday, but you know, I'll let you have the spotlight.
okay. So I'm going to stand up. I'm gonna stand up and like dust the front of my pants off a little bit, and I'm going to. I want to sleight of hand rip one of the tags off of my my robe of useful items.
Okay. What are you ripping off? Let's start with that.
I'm ripping off my my birthday pinata patch.
Okay. Yeah, you'll need a sleight of hand for that.
With a +10 is a 23.
23. Yeah, I mean, you're able to do it easy enough. These guys seem they're, you know, a little inebriated. Hold on for 1 second. My Malamute is losing his mind howling at me, so I'm just gonna get him some water. Feel free to, I don't know, talk amongst yourselves or something.
Yeah, I can hear Kraken being a turd. Yes, my love.
I have
You're
returned. It was fast. He wanted me to chase him, so when I stood up, he ran. Alright, so you
Little slut.
reach up and you pull this patch out. And before they even notice, you have your hand back away from your body and you're now holding this pinata. And it almost looks like you've just swirled your hand out away from you. And as this thing apparates. And so just, Fred, I didn't know you could do that.
It is a very large pinata, and it clips to the ceiling.
What kind of
So,
pinata is it? Describe
It's a
this
giant
thing.
beholder head.
Nice.
It has a
nice.
stalks. As it appears, it magically clips to the ceiling and it hangs down quite a way so people can reach it. And then there's going to be a pinata bat with it, and there's going to be party hats everywhere.
Okay.
So I wanted
So they just appear around you as you do this? They just kind of...
Yep.
When I
And then I'm
grab
just gonna start
two
putting
hats
party hats on
and
everyone.
put them on like horns.
Okay, yeah, there's probably enough. Like, probably half of them left, so it's just this one table of the birthday guy and his full friends. And there's, you know, plenty of hats for all of you. And Roswell also grabs one and he puts one on.
I'm gonna start telling people I'm an elf.
Okay, so as the
Everybody
older
on.
pinata comes up, I'm gonna put party hats on people, and they'd be like, "Well, this is where my fun ends. It is a tradition that the people who are having the birthday get to play with the pinata, but unfortunately, we are not allowed to watch, or I myself am not allowed to watch. It's an elf thing. So I bid you all adieu, and please enjoy the pinata as much as I would." And I'm just going to bow my head to everyone, make sure they all have drinks, and then I'm just going to kind of whisk myself away.
All right, well, as soon as you're away, they're kind of like standing and they're talking amongst themselves and they're trying to figure out like what to do. And then the boat guy picks up the bat and he like starts lining up a swing for it. Shall I just let him swing, or is there anything else that's going to happen when this?
There is. I just need for him to break it.
All right. The first hit, it's a little light. The next hit that he follows up with is quite a bit heavier, as he like really like puts it into this to break this thing, and he like puts a decent dent into it, and the third one will crack this thing in half.
Okay.
What's inside your pinata?
There is a hive of angry wasps.
What the fuck? Alright,
Sorry, I stuck around to watch this.
so the first swing misses. The second one hits, and there's a bit of a buzzing in someone's. Like, maybe you shouldn't. And he goes, "It's fine." Fred said it's good. And as he cracks it the third time, it just kind of splits in half. One side dropping, and there's like this sound of paper ripping. Not from the pinata, but from like the actual paper wasp nest inside, as the entire thing gets bisected. And suddenly there's wasps everywhere. There's almost this moment where time freezes except for the wasps, which are so currently spiraling and swarming up towards these guys. Everyone else is kind of stood frozen. This moment lasts for a split second before they start stinging, and then it just erupts into yells. You hear the barkeep already yelling. You're going, "Freddy, you fucking bastard!" But he's lost in that moment as these guys start swatting. Some of them start running for the door. What are you three doing?
I have put the two paper hats on my head, and I am talking to a new rabbit companion and been like, "Look at me, I'm an elf. I know how to use a longsword."
Bye, Justin.
Okay, what are you doing, Seal a Day?
I was on a cold for years.
I went back to the house to change. I want to take the long way around and make sure no one can see me before I go into the house. Like, I want to like dismantle my disguises. I'm kind of wandering around as long as no one sees me, so it's harder to connect me to Fred.
Okay, and what are you doing, Fizzle, as this erupts? And now there's quite a few wasps between you and the door at this point. Just tell me what you want to do, and then we'll just kind of break it down from there. What's your knee jerk?
Wasps are not good. I don't really like them. I'm gonna get like a good 15 feet away from everyone else, and any wasps that are near me, thunderwave.
Thunderwave. Alright, so the first thing that happens as these wasps are going, people start yelling. Fred is walking out as this thing breaks, and you hear the you do hear him cursing at Fred before he makes it out the door. You're talking, and you're telling him that you're an elf. As Roswell takes a step back, and he just kind of pushes you on the shoulder, and he goes, "You might want to look that way. I'm leaving," and you hear him kind of mumble something under his breath. I think you have a pretty low passive perception, right? I think you're at like 12, aren't you? No, not you're drunk. It doesn't matter what yours is. Yeah, so you also don't notice where Roswell is, but he is kind of like he leaves the vicinity through magical means. So you look around, and you can see all of these wasps, and you see Fizzle moving towards the center of the room as everyone else is just kind of running away. The wasps have now started to swarm, and they're like going higher. Some of them start stinging, like the pretty much whatever is in the room. So what are you doing?
I'm drunk. I'm imagining things are at least doubled, and I hear buzzing. So I'm gonna stumble over to Fizzle and ask him who made all the nuts and bolts mad.
Fizzle, you're up.
Is that right? As I was about to cast Thunderwave?
Yes, yes, it is. You can hold it if you want, or you can take your held action to cast it. What do you prefer?
Out! I'm holding it. I'm holding it.
Alright, well, please have this conversation as to what you want to say towards Chick. For Seal today, I will need a stealth check as you're trying to, like, lie low, you said.
Yep.
So, Chick walks up to you, and they're asking who made these nuts and bolts mad.
No! Out! Go!
Well,
Look me, these things can hurt even you. They're evil.
I'm allergic to
As
But
these.
you're
that's
saying
my
this,
friend.
you feel one
They
land
hold
on your neck.
nuggets together.
So you just see a bunch of wasps kind of like swarming around the wolfhoods, and they're stinging, but it's mostly the metal. You feel one land on your neck, and you're gonna take 1 point of piercing damage as it like sticks its stinger into you.
It is like the mess of
No,
like
this is on
tendons
Fizzle.
beside-
Fizzle is getting stung right
Oh.
now.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, just you. Like the wolfhood seems pretty much unaffected so far because you have your faceplate on right now, right or no?
Yeah, I always put it on whenever I leave the house.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, they seem unbothered by the swarm of bugs at this second, but you are currently getting stung. What did you get for your stealth checks the other day?
26.
Cool. I will keep that in mind. They're going to keep stinging. I'm going to need you, Fizzle, to take. Let me know whenever you're going to do something. You want to take another sting. Same with you. You're going to get stung as well. As one of these wasps does manage to find its way past your armor.
Can you pass the 17?
Yep, with enough of
The
them.
bee has a
They're
plus
raw.
80 to hit.
Yes, with enough of them, they will get by.
As soon as one of them stings me, I'm gonna like go off and just use flurry of blows.
So you're gonna just.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna
Let's.
start punching wasps. Even though nuts and bolts are usually my friends because they hold my bits together.
Okay. You can roll to attack.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You can roll to attack.
Okay. I have extra attack, and then I'm gonna be using flurry of blows. I'm just gonna hit so many things so many times. With another D20. Okay,
They're wasps.
that's a nat 20, and my lowest to hit is 18. Is my lowest to hit.
Actually, pretty much like a bad kung fu movie. You kind of like strike out, and the first hit goes directly through a wasp, and it almost kind of like explodes in front of your face, Fizzle. It's very impressive. And as soon as you're like, they can't do that again, the next hand flashes out, and it does much the same thing. And you're watching as these wasps are just kind of like popping in midair as this wolf is moving exceptionally fast to like start striking at these wasps. More of them are coming though. Most people have left the tavern. The barkeep is also nowhere to be seen. You've, in the chaos, heard the sound of a door opening and closing, and now it's pretty much just you guys and a swarm of several wasps. And by several, I mean several hundred.
Oops.
Ooh. Wow, that's a lot more than I
Big
thought.
switch. Big switch.
So what would you like to do, Fizzle? It'll be your turn right now.
Well, I'm heading for the door, and as soon as I'm a safe distance from, then I will let off the thunder wave.
Okay. So you start moving through this, and you get stung a few times as you're running, but as soon as you like get exactly as you said out of their vicinity, you let out this thunder wave, this loud blast, and a bunch of the wasps just seem to vanish, rolling out from you, and there's just bug guts everywhere, just smeared across this like the inside of a windshield.
What about the beer mugs that were everywhere?
Oddly enough, they just kind of clatter. Most of them are like made out of plastic or
Damn it.
some sort of other material. You know, glass isn't a Freeman go-to material, as it turns out.
I
Probably a
suppose.
lot of porn.
Actually, if you want, you can roll an intelligence check if you care what they're made out of, Fizzle. If not, it doesn't really matter.
Ooh. Good. 9.
9. You
No.
have no clue. It was a very good mimicry of glass, and it's probably something you want to look more into. You would venture a guess that it probably has something to do with blood, bone, or something along the bio part of the Freeman technologies.
Fuck. Give him some- Thank you.
But you do manage to make it to the door if you want to leave or if you want to stay in here.
Oh, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Alright, are you closing the door behind you? There's still a few, but you definitely took out quite a few of the wasps.
I'm not gonna bother closing the door.
Alright. What are you doing as you watch as you so you start popping these wasps, and then you just suddenly hear a very loud kaboom, an earth-shattering kaboom, if you will. And you see a bunch of wasps just kind of get splattered all around you, some of them flying past you and even splattering against your faceplate. You yourself are now also covered in bug guts, but you do see your friend make it outside of here, leaving the door wide open.
I'm gonna do the AoE thing and let off a word of radiance.
Alright,
So they need to make a Constitution save.
what does your radiance look like? Is it again just your holy symbol lights up sort of thing?
Yeah.
Alright. Quite a few wasps are dropping and starting to like burn as you're like walking. Are you walking, standing your ground?
I'm pretty much just standing here. I don't know why everybody's leaving.
Alright, so you're standing in the middle of this looking around dazed, and there's just wasps. Wherever you look, wherever they meet your eye, they just kind of fall to the ground as a blackened husk.
I imagine I'm standing like right over top of the hive right now. Just kind of confused as to why all of the nuts and bolts are mad, because they sound like angry gears buzzing, right?
Day, where are you going once you got out? Were you heading back home, or did you have other plans in mind?
I probably would have headed back home. I've caused enough bit of havoc. Once again, I would want to like slowly take apart my disguise when no one was looking, so they don't see Fred going back to the house.
Okay, so you return to your natural state of Day,
Yes.
and you are heading back to the house?
Yep.
Were you packing your disguise away, or just kind of like throwing it out as you went?
I'll pack it away. I just want to make sure that like as little people see me as possible. I want to do things like hide around corners, behind crates, anything I can to.
Well, that's what the 26 was for. So you
Yeah.
managed to, as far as you're concerned, hopefully elude whoever might be trailing you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So then I'll just head back home.
And where were you going to go, Fizzle? There's definitely not a lot of buzzing around you anymore. There's a few odd wasps that have found their way out, but you're not being exactly chased by the swarm anymore.
I'm gonna back up a good distance just to make sure, and I'm gonna wait and see if Chick actually bothers to come out or not.
Well, I mean, you
And
can.
if after like 10 minutes not, then I'm gonna go home.
Okay, well, you can see them. I mean, they're the only person standing, and like you said, you left the door open, so you just see them standing there, and every once in a while, there's like a little puff of fire around them. Um, what exactly is your intent looking at this wasp nest? Are you just standing there looking at it, or what else do you want to do?
I'm just kind of confused, waiting for somebody to come get me. I'm still drunk. All I know is so long as I'm uttering prayers, things don't touch me anymore, and I'm good with this.
Okay. Well,
So I just keep the word of radiance going.
how long does it last?
It's a cantrip.
Oh, well, in that case, 5 minutes pass, nothing.
Are they all dead?
You hear that come in from the street.
I think nothing has touched me.
Yeah, I'm not trusting that after seeing how Chick handled those. Is there any buzzing? Can I even see any of them left?
Roll a perception check for me.
Not bad. 7. plus 17.
17. You see like the odd wasp, but it seems like the fight has gone out of them. They've more or less settled down, or at least all of the ones that were in attack mode at this point have been burnt up by the Warforged who's standing in the middle. You see the odd one kind of like make its way out of the door and take off into the night. After about 10 minutes, there's a few people heading your way.
Well, I'm not waiting that long.
Well, you said about
Uh,
10 minutes, but all right. We can
Oh,
retcon that.
oh, oh, okay, no, never mind, Yeah,
All right. Like
I thought
they're
you
not
meant,
here
like,
yet. You
after
you
I
just
said
see
something.
them heading your way. Some of them look like they're wearing thick leathers. All of them have some sort of face covering, and it looks like they're showing up to deal with the wasps, unaware. But they're a ways away still. Probably about
Um,
a minute or two.
Chick, we need to go home. Come on.
Why?
More drinks. Better
The
drinks.
drinks are making my brain hurty.
If you have those more at home, it'll make your brain feel better. Trust me, I've had plenty of drinks before. I know how it works.
I guess I would trust you enough that I would follow you. I mean, I have let you, like, repair my fingers before.
And I thank you for that. That was quite the experience. Very fascinating, but for now, we're going home.
Okay. I'm gonna go out and follow you wherever you lead me.
Right. And are you taking them back home?
Yeah, we're going back home.
Going back home. All right. So you guys make it back home, and you find Ceolidae. Ceolidae, why don't you describe the scene as to what they walk in on?
I'm just lounging on the couch. I'm assuming we have a couch. Just kind of like lounging and just playing
In
with
a
my
silky nightie?
hair and
It's more of a bench with like
No.
several sets of seat belts.
Okay, well, I'm lounging sexily across all the seatbelts and just kind of like combing my hair and cleaning my fingernails. Just taking it easy.
Drinking anything?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Just enjoying myself.
First off, I'm going to get Chick a large mug of water. Drink that, and then I'm going to put on some coffee. Then I turn to Sierra today. The fuck, dude? At least you could have at least told us first.
See, that's the thing. I don't think that far ahead myself, so I couldn't really have warned you of what I wanted to do because I didn't think of what I wanted to do.
We got caught in that, you know.
Did you make the nuts and bolts angry?
Yes, he did.
Technically,
Why would
I
you
put
do
them
that?
there. I didn't make them angry.
They got so bad.
The gentleman
So
with the
angry.
birthday made them angry. You can't blame me for that.
A minor technicality. And yes, we can. Although it was, I do admit, it was kind of funny.
I told you. See, I'm not one
The
to.
bolt is not funny. The bolts hold the bits together.
I'm not going to go out of my way to kill someone or injure someone or take their special belongings, but a little bit of havoc now and then. Isn't that what life is about? A little bit of fun.
Ceolidae, can you pick
Mhm.
high or low? Let me know what you pick and then roll a percent die.
I want. Hi. That is 50 on the money.
Okay, thank you.
Dad. Are you gonna tell me?
That's a surprise for later.
No. uh, where was I? But life is for having fun. Did you not have fun? Did you not enjoy the festivities? Before the pinata, of course.
Before that, yes, it was
Well,
enjoyable.
there you go. I'm glad that I could help you have a good time while you're here. And goodness, I told you that would put hair on your chest.
You guys
I'm gonna
like
look down. Is there still any hair on me?
there's a little bit, but it's mostly you're covered in bug guts and like a few, like probably about 10 random splotches of hair. The gut's actually doing a better job of keeping them on you than the viscous alcohol was.
I'm going to lunge forward and hug Cieladay and just start rubbing my chest against him and his clothes.
You son of a bitch.
While shoving my hands through his hair. My bug gut covers hands.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
I
stand
think
there in
I'm
shock
going
and
to
like,
leave you two alone.
I'm just gonna start dry heaving.
There you go. There's a very radiant.
With your fucking faceplate. That's just like
Yep.
Hannibal Lecter style.
What do you think inspired it?
All the meanwhile, while you're uncomfortably gyrating next to me, I'm just going to be dry heaving. I'm in a state of shock.
Do you think you'll be grossed out by bug guts? Do you think it's con save
Absolutely.
worthy? Let's get a con save then.
That is a 5 on the die.
It's a bit more than dry heaving.
Yeah, I don't have a bonus to con, so yeah, that's a 5.
It starts as dry heaving and it barely progresses to you like you know you're going to puke, and you can either choose to try to swallow it or to let that bad boy go right here on the floor.
I feel like Cieladay is in a state of shock about it, like the fact that this son of a bitch had the audacity. So I'm not in control of my own body right now.
So you just start puking on the floor.
No, they're pressed against me.
Alright, so Fizzle, you said you were leaving the room or you were staying?
Grabbing
Yeah,
popcorn.
it looked like something else was going to be going down, so I just walked right into one of the rooms,
Right.
closed the
As
door.
soon as you close the door, you hear the sound of retching.
Oh.
The door back open.
That's. I'm just talking to myself. Oh, that's gotta be a blow to the ego. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
At this point, you hear the front door open and you hear Henry go, "What in the? I'm going to. You hear the sound of the door close. Couple of minutes later, it opens again, and he like awkwardly like tries to walk around this scene, and then you hear the sound of the guest room door close.
After I have thoroughly rubbed everything that was on me onto Cieladay, I'm gonna get a damp cloth and start cleaning myself off. I'm gonna take off my metal panels to do it.
Do me a favor. Let's just get a con check and see how drunk you are still.
Yeah.
Just to see how thorough this is going for you.
Oh, wow, that is 21.
I mean, you actually do sober up pretty quickly then. Maybe it's because Monk, maybe it's because Warforged, but you are actually able to do most of this with at least some level of precision.
Nice.
Cieladay, what are you doing now that you're covered in bug guts, some of your own vomit,
Hair and
Stranger
alcohol.
various other fluids you probably don't want to think about, and mixes of all of these combined in several different quantities?
That smells so wonderful.
Okay.
You
I'm
smell
just
worse than the halfling that doesn't bath.
I never said that I don't bathe.
I just said I don't know what I do
You
with my
implied
clothes. In between.
take a look at my fucking character sheet.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
That's fine.
yeah. So I'm going to just kind of stand there a little dumbfounded,
Okay.
and after probably like 30 seconds or a minute, I just kind of come to my senses, and I just gonna start just stripping right there. I'm just gonna strip down to my boxers, and I'm just gonna walk into the room, and you're just
Okay,
gonna
that's
hear
fine.
grotesque sobbing.
Fizzle, in a moment of curiosity, you glance out the door to see Chick with none of their metal plates on and everything arrayed before them, and you also see Sealaday naked walking into his room.
Close the door.
Also,
That's
my butt cheeks are perfectly round, fucking dummy thick butt cheeks.
you have a single tattoo that says "bad bitch."
Can I?
I
Can
have a
I
tramp stamp
go
that says "bad
a
bitch." You're
silver
right.
piece off of his booty?
So,
While
what
he's
did you say,
walking away?
Chick?
Can I bounce a silver piece off of his booty as he's walking away?
Yes.
Roll an attack with Dex. It's a ranged attack.
Nat 20! Mm.
Not only does it
Like-
bounce, it goes down the ground. You swipe the card from across the
Ooh.
room. Ooh, it's a little cold, Sealaday.
I'm like,
I am
when
a
it's
bubble
not
butt. And then you hear grotesque sobbing.
Alright, so with that, you guys will be going to bed to the sound of Sealaday crying softly to himself in the room next to yours.
Not softly. I am bawling, like ugly crying, just horrifically sobbing in my room.
Alright.
Like if anyone gets some sleep, I will be surprised.
I clean myself up. I don't want to get whatever the hell all of this mess is in any of my bits and let it sit there, so I'm cleaning all that out. And then I'm going to turn off my ears.
Fizzle, halfway through the night, at about what you assume is 1 a.m., you hear like a faint knocking on your door.
I'm actually still awake, like trying not to think about what could have happened. It's like, yeah, I'm still awake. Come on in.
Alright. Now, Henry comes in and he closes the door and he goes, I was going to pop into my sanctum. It's quieter in there if you'd like to join me.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. I've been trying to drown it out. Really, I don't want to know what happened. It must
Me
have
too.
been so horrible.
I was quite a fan of Sealaday until, but now I don't know. I mean, I didn't trust the Warforged, but now you seem the most normal, and it's a bit of a shock to me. And he's like laying out some spell components here.
Uh, honestly, we're not really usually like that. We're just blowing off some steam. Really. I swear to the gods, it's not like this usually.
I mean,
It is exactly like this all of the time.
so after about 10 minutes or so, right, he kind of goes quiet and he starts focusing on the spell. But soon there's like this little like silver archway that appears with a very quaint wooden door, and he just kind of like opens it up, and inside it looks like there's like a field of grass with a cottage deeper within. And he's like, I like the grass and the technically it could be whatever. It it doesn't matter. Just if you'd like, I can make you a guest room, but yeah. And he just kind of goes in, and he like waits for you to follow.
Oh, thank you. This has been a while since I've seen so much green.
I know I thought it was quite nice. When I found out I was coming here, and dealing with the Freeman, I was a little off put, so I thought I'd make some changes so I could feel more at home. Um, you said you're from Ithril. Do you, what part are you at liberty to talk about this?
Um, out of character, I have no idea what your world looks like map-wise.
Map
So
wise, that's fair. That's
yeah,
fair. We got into this a little quickly. You can just say any name, and I'll make it up, or we'll change it if it becomes prudent.
I yeah,
But
I don't want to say any name just because I know I'll say something
then
stupid.
I will
Yeah, I'm
name
from
something for
the
you.
northern mountains. How about that?
All right.
That area.
How about do me a favor? Roll a 1d10.
Oh, of course you name one that I didn't pull out.
It can be a d8 then.
Hold on. I got a D10 right here. 5.
5. All right. Then you would be from the town of Fair Hollow.
It came from Fair Hollow, actually.
Oh, that's a very nice place. I'm actually from Ashwick myself. I was just curious. I wasn't expecting to be working with the Freeman, and I was wondering if any particular reason you came here to work with them.
Oh, I bribed my way into this place.
Bribe?
I really just came to see what kind of mechanical marvels they had. It's, it's been a learning experience.
Oh, I can imagine, actually. I was a little worried about this transition myself, but I'm pleased that I have two people here that I can trust and I can really get along with, if you understand what I mean. And he's saying this, and you guys make it to the cottage, and he opens that door as well. And it's a very nice place. There's a fireplace, and then you see what seems to be just an abnormal amount of doors. And he's like, you can open any of them, and whatever you think of, it'll go. I just kind of like the look of all of the doors.
I'm gonna be right back. I just gotta feed my dog.
All right, sounds good.
I can still hear you.
But you understand what I'm saying, right? About trust and sticking together?
Yeah. Like I said, you can trust all three of us. Like I said, just blowing off some steam.
Well, I mean, the Warforged is a little off-putting, and same with most of...
Only at first. Chick Chick is actually really cool and very intelligent. Cyrilidae, he's a character, but he's a good person at heart.
Is he?
As far as I can tell, mostly enough.
Well, I mean, I was planning really to sit down with the rest of you and have a bit of a conversation tomorrow. But now I was thinking maybe it was best to just have it with you separately. But if you vouch for them, I could wait for tomorrow and instead go with the original plan.
It would probably be best to just do it with all of us. I mean, honestly, whatever you tell me, I'm just gonna go right around and tell them anyway.
And would this stop there, or would it go beyond you three? Just for the sake of conversation. I mean, it's on the up and up here. I'm just curious as to how far certain loyalties go.
Oh, I know that I can keep a secret. I'm not sure if I know the other two well enough to speak for them about that, though. I mean, I trust them, but we haven't known each other a whole long time. It's only been it's only been a couple of days.
Well, why don't, for the sake of this, I'll have the main conversation with them, but for you, if something comes up that I feel is prudent or you want to talk about, perhaps we could have that privately at another point.
If it'll make you feel better, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, have a good night. And if you choose to cry in here, that's fine. I can stop those sounds. And
No, I did not have a what might have been a disturbing sexual encounter. I'm trying not to think about it. Now I'm thinking about it again.
Well, that's part of the conversation you should keep to yourself, and I'll be over there. And he walks open to a door, and you see he, like, pauses at the door with his hand on the doorknob, or his paw. And then he just kind of, like, nods to himself as if he, like, makes up his mind, and he opens it, and you see what seems to be another cottage within this room. He walks in, he waves at you, and he closes the door.
So let me get this straight. He opens what looks like a door of a cottage into a field with a cottage, and inside the cottage, he opens a door to another cottage.
Yes.
I think this is the most cottagecore rabbit I've ever heard of.
No shit.
I'm just thinking he must be quite the wizard. I open a random door and
He likes what he likes. What do you think about when you open this door?
I'm not really thinking about.
Odd sexual encounter.
Oh my god, yeah. Honestly, hold on.
Existential dread.
Yeah, that would be a natural 1, so... yeah.
You open the door and you swear like it opens back into the house with the table.
Alright,
you
close the door. Try a different one. Okay, he said something about, think of something, bed. Bed?
Yeah, there's what seems to be a bed in what looks like your old room, because that was probably the place you're used to having a bed. Or wherever you used to sleep the most, whatever comes to mind when you imagine that bedroom.
Childhood
Is the room
bedroom.
you see.
Race car.
He's got a bed.
Dirty, messed up bed, bunch of tools on it. Yeah, this feels like home.
This should do. And with that, you guys all go to bed. We will take a... Do you guys want to take a quick break here? 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Fi-
sure.
5 minutes? Alright, we will take a 5-minute break, and then we will get back to whatever this is. So, see you guys then.
Strange and disturbing, and that's what it is.
See you in a bit.
Hilarious.
I'll be back.
So Connor.
If you want to have a conversation, just because this is currently on break, message me on... Is it quick? What's
Yeah, it's super quick.
Okay.
Before everyone else gets up, I want to be sitting in the living room like nothing was wrong, with a bonfire with my clothes in it. I just want to act like nothing's wrong except the clothes are burning.
Alright, we'll have that conversation when you get back. See you in a bit, dude.
Was that a naked cat?
He's not completely naked. He's just mostly. He's got hair. Where'd
I
he
just
go?
thought it would look like a naked cat booty.
Well,
That.
Mostly naked.
Yeah. See, he's got hair.
What did you do to that poor thing?
shaved
Nothing.
him.
This is how he is.
This is how he came. I
Yeah.
bought him like this.
Well, I didn't. But
Well, with that, I believe we are good to get back to this, yes?
Yep.
yes, you get petting too.
Alright, well,
But-
welcome back, everyone. So, you guys just went down for one of the most, well, not the most, I don't want to give it that amount of credit, but one of the most confusing and off-putting nights. Some being sad, some being pure nightmare fuel, but you guys all come back the next day. Celia, you probably wake up first, and you said you were heading to the living room to dispose of various objects.
Yes.
Um,
I want to have a big bonfire on their side of the table, not on mine, because mine is for eating. And I want to burn my clothes from the night before. I have multiple of the same types of clothes, so.
so you're covered.
And I just want to pretend like nothing happened.
Alright. So between and Fizzle, who do you think's waking up first?
How many rooms are in this place?
There's 4 rooms.
Okay, so I could in fact actually go to my own bedroom then.
I believe so, yes.
I don't know, I'd probably wake up pretty early. I had a good sleep, and I wasn't bothered at all by the crying. I didn't even know what happened, really.
Okay. So you probably have... So are you waking up early then, do you think? Or gonna sleep in a little bit?
Let me check quickly.
Remember, you were pretty drunk.
Oh no, I just got a 19 on that constitution
Oh.
check I gave myself. I am not even hungover.
It
Damn.
was the bug guts.
I think it was the water.
No.
No,
Bug
then,
guts
yeah, so
solves
you-
everything.
I think it's
Maybe
because
both.
I'm a monk.
Alright, so you wake up at a decent time and you head out of your room to see Seal Day there, bonfire, clothes burning on your side of the table. Probably smoldering more at this point.
You know we have a burning bucket for that sort of thing, right?
For what
And I'm
sort of
gonna
thing?
pull out this bucket that's like black on the inside, and I'm gonna slide the entire mess into there with a sheet of metal. This like tables can catch fire. The burning bucket can't.
I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm just gonna continue just like brushing my hair.
I'm gonna hold it in front of your face. This that you were burning on the table.
Who says that was me? Are you trying to put things... Are you trying to pin things to me now?
Are there any remains of the clothes that are like singed?
Yeah, there's probably a couple in there.
I'm gonna reach in and pull out a piece of like still burning cloth. This is yours, is it not?
Can I cast Minor Illusion to make it look like one of, Fitz's clothes?
I mean, yeah, you have the spell, so I need you to make an intelligence check.
Me?
Yeah.
Hug me.
Oh, 18!
I mean, you can see through the magic. You see, like, it looks like it's supposed to be Fizzle's close, but you look a little closer and you can see, like, there is something behind this image.
Your magic makes my brain hurt. And I'm gonna put the bucket on your lap.
Your brain makes your brain hurt.
Only because part of it is missing.
And I'm just gonna like take the bucket and just like scoot it under the table.
Right. Meanwhile, back in Henry's little sanctum, you wake up and you Do you want to hang around in your room, or do you think you're headed out?
I think I would head out, but then I realized that I actually don't know how to get out of here. I've never been in a magical
Hell,
place like this.
purgatory.
No, it's actually quite beautiful here.
Well,
There's no place like
when
home.
you do open the door, it looks like it goes back into the main cottage, and you see before where there's like a bearskin rug and all of the nice fineries. Instead, it's just all of that moved to the side with a table in the middle, and Henry's there and looks like he's set himself up a nice little salad. And there's another chair, and he's like, while we're in here, I can make food. So if you want, I could get you something to eat before we go back. It's really up to you, though. If not, the door is just back over that way. And he points over his shoulder. We have about an hour before this place closes on us.
Oh, like, is it like real food?
Yeah, it's real food. It just can't leave. It has to exist within here.
Wait, so what happens if we're digesting the food and we leave while we're still digesting? You know what? Never mind. Never mind. I don't want to know. I don't. Yeah, I do want to know, but I don't need to know.
I mean,
Yes,
it's a
yes,
little
something from
complex.
home would be very nice.
But for the sake of simplifying this for you and not really getting too far into the arcana, it'll be fine. There is this weird little property where it's more or less recognized as yours and no longer belonging to the weave, and so you're able to retain it within yourself.
Yeah.
It's one of the rules of adjuration.
Yeah, this is why I went into the building and tinkering instead of the arcana thing.
Well, I mean,
This kind of stuff makes my head hurt.
well, that's fine. Well, what would you like? Are you thinking sausages or a salad? I'm quite apt at thinking up salads.
I'm sure you are. Bacon. Oh my god, I haven't had bacon in so long.
Yeah, I
What?
think I remember what that tastes like. And he just kind of like walks over to what seems to be an oven. He opens up and he pulls out like this tray of bacon. And he sets it down in front of you. And he goes, it should be good to touch and to eat. It's close.
Close enough.
It's
Close
not
enough.
quite bacon, but it's close enough.
I can't believe it's not bacon.
It tastes the way someone that heard what bacon tastes like tastes like.
Eek.
Can't believe it's not bacon.
You know, everyone tells him it's good, so it tastes good. But it is greasier than you're used to, even for bacon. So
Well, that's not a bad thing for night drinking.
so you have your bacon, and once you finish your meal, Henry kind of like shows you the way out. And you guys walk in at the same point that Sheila Day is tucking this bucket underneath the table.
I smell funny in here.
It smells like something
What
was
do you mean?
burning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cielo Day is burning his clothes. I don't know why.
What clothes?
Garments supposed to be expensive?
What did you do to him?
I did nothing. I think.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember.
Sheila Day, do you
You
want to
know
talk
what?
about it?
I don't want to talk about anything.
I think it was
I
bad.
just want,
Do we need
I
to get
just
HR?
want to go about our day. Wherever Mr. Rabbit wants to go, that is what the plan is. Anything that happened late last night never happened.
If
So
you
no
want,
HR.
Breakfast?
I already ate. But thank you.
I remember having 2 drinks, and then the next thing I remember, I was cleaning hair and vomit and bug guts off of my flesh bits and metal plates.
The bugs must have vomited on you. That's quite a shame.
Ooh, a silver. Do you want? Says Henry, picks up the silver you threw last night, and tucks it into his poise, and he looks at you
Just-
guys and he goes, Oh, I'm sorry. Does this belong to one of you? And he pulls it back out.
No.
We can keep
You
it.
can keep it. Just wide-eyed
Well, there's
non-flashbacks.
people,
He
right?
sets it down on the table and he just slides it into the middle. We'll just leave that there. You guys made it weird.
No
That is
takebacks.
Sailor's gift.
Um, so anyways, I haven't checked with the captain yet, but the first stop that I requested along our way, we're stopping by a little town called High Meadows.
The name is unfamiliar to me.
Do you mind if I
Sounds
inquire as to what we're
unimportant.
doing? The captain told us that we're to keep you company, but he didn't tell us anything about why we're keeping you company or what our aim is.
Um, did he say any particular reason why he didn't, or am I just?
He
It's
pretty much
entirely-
just said that we're supposed to act as meat shields.
It's entirely possible that he did say so, and I just wasn't listening because when that man talks, he just drones on and on. So
Well, somebody else I know, and I'm gonna look you dead in the eyes as I say that.
and I'll just do a quick turnaround. Like, who's behind me?
Well, I usually would check with him and see what I could say, but seeing as we're all mostly from Ithril, I'm willing to be a bit more forthright, if that's all right with you, Chick Chick. Um, we'll count you as one of us, and I hope you remember that in these coming times.
But I don't even know what an Ithril is.
You've never been to the north of your fine desert?
I have raided along the coast in the past, but only the past 3 years.
Okay, well, that means you've probably been to Ithril on a not very nice note. Unless you went south, in which case that's a different story. But so I personally, I'm from Ithril, but I'm currently representing a different place with my own interests. I'm representing. It's a very small project of other mages, and it's been dubbed New Ithril. I'm unsure why, and I'm trying to figure out who the main guy putting it together is. He goes by the name Argos. He's a very tall lad, long dreads, face stitched together. Not quite sure where he came from, and I want to know why he's making a new city under a new name. So,
The name is hardly new. There was already an Ithril.
that's exactly what I'm trying to figure out is why he comes into this place and why he has so many high-ranking mages with him. You must understand, and I'll make this simple for you, Chick Chick. I'm sure these two already know, but Ithril has a lot of mages. They have certain ranks, battle mages being the most prominent, but then you also have more of the government where you get into your wraiths and you get into your thinkers and you get into all of those classes. But the point is, quite a few of these higher rankings and all of these have sided towards this Argos fellow, and it's been more or less kept on the hush. I have some information that there's apparently some runes or something along the way that could perhaps lead me with some answers that the king, the pridesman, uh, recently went and took a visit to, and since then things have gone a little hushed for me. So this town, High Meadows, it's just along our way. I'm picking up what's commonly called a dead drop, very exciting stuff, and that'll more or less kind of set me in where I need to go for the next leg of this journey. The vested interest here of the captain is that he hopes to also figure out what is going on with these mage cities and stuff like that. So it's kind of a
So,
open excursion to trade information among ourselves.
you're picking up a body?
Well, not quite a body, an envelope or something along that.
But you said it is called a dead drop. Would that not imply that the thing is dead? And thus a body?
No, that's where you drop off your dead, I think.
The words I use might be a little confusing, I understand that, but I was told it should be an envelope. If that makes sense.
No.
Yeah.
So none of this is tracking with you guys? Well, I mean, it's quite simple. Just help me get to this town and just be by me, and as we move on, we'll go from there. I understand that one of the good things and one of the reasons that you two were requested is because you're not Freeman, and therefore you would blend in well when we go into some of these towns. But is going to need a bit of work, as Freeman aren't exactly welcomed in most Ithril towns.
I have just the
I'm gonna
thing.
go over to my room and pull out like a couple more pieces of armor and a proper helmet. They will not know that I am mechanical if I cover up all of my bits properly.
I
A
mean,
suit of armor is a suit of armor to most.
I mean, as long as you have a plan, then that works. But that's specifically why you guys were moved to Tick Tick, was so then you could help me with where we're going and why we're going.
I want to come running back out of my room with a clown nose, a cousin it wig that goes from top to the ground for about 8 feet, and I want a giant blue wig, like a big think like a Marge Simpson wig, and a makeup palette.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We'll say you have that. Why not?
While is talking, I'm just going to be like putting things on them, modeling, kind of looking, kind of like picking up makeup palette, just like putting blush on their cheeks, just fucking around with my disguise kit, basically.
My hair is acceptable the way it is.
Yes, but if you did not just hear him, he said that we need to blend in, and what better part of blending in than making a whole new fucking image? And I'm
My
just gonna-
hair is fine the way it is.
Fine,
I
I'll
will
grab a
not
bald
be
cap.
encumbered by this monstrosity, and I'm gonna pick up the cousin it wig and wave it in your face. It will
Fine, I'll
follow
grab my
your
bald
will.
cap. And I'll just run back to my room and come back out with a bald cap.
That one is acceptable.
Aren't you wearing a helmet, and therefore they won't need the? I'm
Oh.
sorry. It's just that redundancy is, well, it's a thing.
You understand fashion? And I'm gonna adjust for myself. Am I not the pinnacle of fashion? Exactly.
Okay.
And I'm going to put the bald cap on them and I'm going to start smoothing down the edges.
What's your plan for the robot eye?
Pulls out eye patch. Flawless. Simply flawless.
Okay.
I could not
But
have done
now
better
I no
myself.
longer have depth perception, and thus my punches are off. I'll have to recalibrate.
Just the thing. And I'm going to take a needle and I'm going to poke the center of the eye patch just so you have like this little dot to see. Just put it back on. Close enough. And I'm just going to start applying makeup to this.
No.
Come on. So what does the time frame look like? Do I have time to apply the full foundation? Is blush going out to do?
Well, that was the next thing we need to figure out, as we need to get to this town, but we don't want them to know that we're coming from the Freeman. So, to my understanding, he wants to keep the captain, I should say, wants to keep moving Tick Tick, and we're supposed to take one of those smaller things and park that somewhere, do what we need to do, and then catch up, was my understanding of the plan. But I don't know how far to park, and I don't know how we get to the town once we leave the smaller, whatever they're called.
Well, That does seem like something that someone who actually understands the machines would know. What about you? One of you two. You seem to know tech stuff.
We will have to walk. I imagine I can park us close enough once we see a map.
Does anybody have a map? Anyone? Anyone at all?
Actually, I don't think I do. Not of this area of the world, at least.
Perhaps
The
ask
good
the
thing, Henry, is that
captain-
we do have transportation.
Looks like you have
Perhaps
to do
not.
everything yourself.
Perhaps
Um,
ask the captain when would be the best time for us to get off while he attempts to do whatever he wishes to do to my physical
Not the
form.
captain. Remember, not the captain. The me, Justin, is forgetting the subordinate's name that we're supposed to go through because the captain is busy and doesn't want to be bothered.
You're the first engineer.
Boom.
Okay, well, I could talk to him if you want, unless one of you guys wants to have that pleasure.
I'm going to.
It might be
Pull-
best if you go, considering you know where we are going.
I'm going to pull what seems to be like a small rolled up piece of parchment. I'm just going to spread it across the table, and it's going to open up to about like 3 feet by 3 feet. I'm going to snap my fingers, and it comes to life, and it's a clearly drawn map of the area we need to be.
Okay, what's exactly are you using to do this, just so I understand?
My
game-wise?
imagination board.
Your imagination.
Remember-
So you're using the map as well as you understand the map, right?
Yep.
Can you make an intelligence check for me?
Yes, it can. That's a 14, and I think I have a +1. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, so it's laid out well enough that you have all of the major cities on it. So, I'll get a good picture of the map and I'll put it up in the game chat later.
It might be a little bit off here and there, but for the most part, mountains, there's a coast, and I'll just kind of like vaguely gesture my hand across the board, and things will change as I will it to.
Yeah, no, that actually seems quite good. Right here, and he points towards the city of Lake Meadows. Just to the south is where you'll find High Meadows.
Is there any terrain or anything we should be aware of? Any hills?
It's supposed to be pretty much on the border. There's a big lake that goes through it, and kind of skirts around the the Freeman territories.
If he's talking with his hands at all, I want to basically draw the map and the lake as he's like directing it.
Okay.
Give more life and presentation to the map.
But yeah, that's yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Yeah, that should do. So anyways, I'll just go talk to this Yoth person. If anyone wants to come with me, feel free, and I'll just inquire as to the time frame as to when we're leaving. Then, right? Or is there something I'm misunderstanding?
I'm good to go whenever. I would go with you, but I don't think that. Actually, you know what? To hell with the captain. I'm gonna pay him a little visit, and I'm gonna go get a like a pompadour hat and just.
Okay. So then,
Are you sure? I could take Henry so that you two can spend some more time alone.
No, take him! I'm sure I can figure out a way to hide my physical form without him.
so you're coming with us then, Fizzle, and we'll just tick stay in here.
Yeah, we'll let Shiladea annoy the captain and we will go to the right person.
Okay. Well then I guess lead on.
And before we go, if you come up with any ideas for what you would like to wear, feel free to raid my my boudoir. Everything's at your disposal. Makeup is in the back. There's wigs. There's caps. There is some really fancy hats. If you want a cloak, I got you cloaks. Whatever you want. Just have at it.
Okay. So,
I'm sure we'll find something suitable between your things and the more useful items that the ship's holds have.
well, I will let you figure out what you want as your disguise while I deal with these two quickly.
Yep.
So, while you two are walking, with your passive perception, Cielidae, you
Mhm.
find that Fred apparently is having a disciplinary hearing about his actions last night and the effect that it caused. And there's supposed to be some sort of vote for what should happen to him. And there's different penalties based on what people are calling, from things from kicking him off of the ground shaker to floggings to just a talking to like, there's different levels depending on what people want to do.
And that's Fred?
Yep, the guy you were
Okay.
dressed up as.
Oh, poor Fred.
Oh, goodness. What's going on here?
So as you approach, one of the actually, it's someone you recognize, moves towards you, and they just kind of hold their hand out. It's a elf. She has several tattoos of cogs as well as hammers along her fist, and you recognize it as Dulara Ironbark, the security guard that originally set you up with Dovin. And she just stops you in your tracks, and she goes, "This is Freeman business. You're not one of us, so you will have no say on what happens here."
I was just purely inquiring.
There was an incident last night. I'm sure you heard of it.
I am afraid I did not. I was quite fast asleep.
Well, I was told you were
Iron.
playing at this bar, so I'm sure you will be sad to hear that it was infested with wasps, thanks to Fred's
Goodness.
actions.
What a scoundrel. And she's an elf?
Yep.
Well, I may not be able to participate because of my ethnicity, and that is wrong, just so you know.
It's not an ethnicity, it's more of a allegiance in where you stand and where you're from. You don't know our ways, and so it wouldn't be fair to ask you to participate in them. But if you want to take it that way, perhaps it is best that you do remember your place as a guest here.
Of course. Is there any... How do I say this? Is there an official judge? Are you able to avoid his crimes? Could he pay himself free like a sort of bond or a bail?
No, that's not really a thing. Everything is done here through votes. We're a community and we expect people to act and participate as a community. No judge, except for a gathering of his peers that will work as a council.
That is good to know for the community and all. Well, Fred, and I'll raise my voice. I wish you the best of luck. And I'm going to bow, sweeping bow with my hat.
Alright, and with that, she just still kind of like makes sure she stands between you, and you see Fred just kind of looks up. Roll a deception check.
Deception, I also have expertise in because bard. So that is a 25.
25. You still see that Fred locks, and you can almost like, you feel he knows that it has something to do with you. He can't place it, he doesn't know why, but he knows deep down he wasn't there last night, and you keep showing up. With that, you continue your way with Delara just kind of like staring at you down until you guys move on past. And then she kind of like turns and rejoins the gathering. And Fred's just kind of like stood in the middle, and there seems to be about 15 or so people 5 of which seem like they have several stings on various parts of their body, and they're all insisting that he was there last night. With that, you make your way to the center of Tick Tick, where there's the giant spiral staircase that goes up to the command post.
Have you ever heard of sleepwalking? What about sleep pranking?
Sleep drinking.
Yeah, I'm not falling for it.
Red was there? They all saw him with his own eyes?
Yeah, not cool, man.
In my defense, I was hoping to pay off a guard or something to let him stay. Of course, I don't want people to be hurt from my pranks, but since it is purely a vote, a few gold coins wouldn't grease any pockets in his favor. It is unfortunate.
No,
But
no.
I wish him the best
no,
of
they
luck.
Wouldn't. Of course, you could just tell the truth. Not that that's gonna happen.
What am I? A goody-goody? No. Then everyone would look at me as a prankster, and that's just...
The truth?
Yes, but they don't need to know that. I'm beautiful, not a prankster. They look at me, and I want them to know how much I'm glowing. I don't want them to look at me like I have dirt on my hands and dirt under my fingernails.
Actually,
Goodness.
I think you do have a little bit right there.
And I'm gonna
Henry,
pull my...
this way. While he does that, I'll show you where the lead engineer is.
Alright, so Henry follows after you. He's being like, pretty quiet. He's just kind of observing as he goes, and seems a little skittish as he's walking through, a little paranoid, his head darting one way and another, and he's trying to like prop his ears up, but they're quite floppy.
I love his
He
floppy
just
ears.
has that drowsy look about him as you're going. So are you following along with them, Day, or are you going up the staircase?
Oh, I'll be like a solid like 10 or 15 seconds behind those as I'm like fiercely checking under my nails and like filing them and cleaning them.
Alright, so you guys make it to the top, a little bit ahead of Day, and you see the captain, but this time he's like laying back. It looks like he has a cup in his hands. Looks like it's steaming, and besides that, there's a few other people in there, but you also see Yoeth bent over the map, and it looks like he's having a conversation with somebody else. And there's a Day, you've oddly enough never realized this, but there's a little rune on the side, and it just says like press for attention. And Henry's like, so do we knock then, or what's
I'm going to push the button.
Right, so you press it, and you see there's like this little flash of energy, and then you see like Yurith looks up, and he kind of like waves towards you, finishes his conversation briefly, and then he comes to the door and opens it, steps out, and closes it behind him.
And he's in front of the two of them, right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna press the button again. If I don't physically see anything happening near me, I'm just gonna keep hitting the button.
Yurith like reaches out, and he like grabs your hand, and he pulls it away from the
Well, I'm
button.
behind the other two.
I know, but you have to reach past to hit the button, right?
Okay.
So he grabs you by the wrist, and he just kind of like pushes your hand away, and he goes, "You have my attention."
Oh goodness! Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that was for you. I thought it was just some funny button.
I'm the one that's supposed to be dealing with you, and I'm sure you can read. So why don't you spare me the details and tell me, what do you want?
Oh, this is Henry, the wizard we were supposed to bring. He wanted to talk to you for a few minutes.
Okay, and that's it. Looks towards Henry, and Henry just kind of speaks up. He goes, yes, I was just the time frame. When do we get on the? And Diaz just kind of like stops him with his hand, and he goes, "We'll be passing by today, so any time today, and it should just be directly to our north. or for you are right at this current position. And from there, we will be continuing along to the west. Henry just kind of nods and he goes, well, that makes it very simple then. Thank you, Yoth. Um, do you guys have any other questions for him, or should we get back?
You want to see a magic trick? And I'm just going to pull out a deck of cards. I'm just going to start flowing them between my hands.
Yoth just kind of looks at you, and you can almost sense the disappointment.
He's not my dad. I've seen those.
So you're continuing with the magic trick?
Absolutely.
Alright, what do you do?
I'm going to start flourishing, like it's going to be basically like a large flourish of each of the cards in the deck, and halfway in the middle, they're just going to start flickering and changing the face of the cards.
Are you using magic for it, or...
A little bit of...
Let's get a performance check.
That is a nat 20.
Yeah,
So that'll be a 30.
it's a very well practiced magic trick for you as you like flourish these, your hands moving a vast distance between the two of them, really letting all of the cards flicker. It almost looks like they're twirling in the air, almost like a little dance. And you can tell Yurith was a little like miffed, but he's impressed. But he's still trying to hold like that tough guy appearance with you. He's annoyed but amused.
As soon as I'm finished, as soon as the deck of cards goes back into the other hand, they're going to whisk away, and then I'm going to do like a wide stance and jazz hands.
I think Ariel's frozen. She almost has the face of the faceless one for me. Alright. So you finished the trick and Yoth is just kind of like, ta-da. Thank you for that.
Of course, I love to please. And I'll do a great sweeping bow.
Well, I'm glad I was able to set this straight for you guys. And again, thank you for coming to me and letting the captain be undisturbed. And as he says this, he like levels eyes at you, Sealaday. And he kind of like glances towards the button temporarily. He values his time in the morning.
I'm gonna cast sending
Okay.
on the captain.
What do you want to say? You have 25 words.
Oh yes, hello. Yes, it is I, the world-famous bard Sealaday, the fastest flute in the West. I know. It is an honor to...
At this point, you get cuffed across the head by Yurith, who's directly in front of you. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What do you mean?
And you hear in your head the captain just says, if you see Yurith, tell him to hit you again.
Yep, I have no spell slots. I'm going to cast sending to Yurth and the captain. I'm like, the captain said if you see me, to hit me again.
You get cuffed again.
And I'll be like, thank you, captain. Thank you for keeping Yurth in check.
You just hear
Enjoy
in
your
your
morning.
head, another one.
Another one. What?
I lean into Henry and whisper, I'm no longer so certain about him.
And he's just looking back and forth, like, what the fuck? Who got hired to help me? You're just kind of like, you can tell he wants to hit you again, but he just kind of like closes his hand, he pulls it towards himself, and he goes, I hope you guys have a good day and you have a safe trip. With that, he reaches behind him, he opens the door, and he like steps through it, closes it, looks you in the eye through the glass, spins the lock, and he's just go, and then he turns on his heels and walks away.
I'm going to rapid fire press the button like 30 times.
You-
and
you-
I'm walking away.
You
I'm
press
walking
it
away.
twice, and you watch as it just disappears. Henry is like following Fizzle as fast as he can, and he's like,
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm
I think he was traumatized by last night.
I'm going to use the Pearl of Power to get back my level 3 spell slot so I can.
Pause. Because I created that.
Yeah, but you gave it to me.
Yes. But
It is on
I
my
need to tell you
person.
something about it now that you finally used it.
Okay.
Like I said, it was a ring with what looked to be a red gem in it.
Okay.
When you use it, let's say if it was on, let's say my middle finger here, at the activation phrase or whatever you want to use, it shoots out a needle right into the webbing between your hand, kind of deep in there, and it kind of feels like something is being pumped into your veins. And as you look at the ring, you realize that the red is slowly getting less and less as it's getting pumped into your
That's
into you.
sick.
Does this change your
Lethal
plan at
injection.
all?
No,
As
What's that?
you- So does this
It's-
change your plan at all as you think to yourself, this will be great, and you activate it, and you feel this thing, like this sharp pinch, and you watch as this stuff gets pumped into your hand?
Goodness, I hope this doesn't ruin my complexion. I don't know if I have enough foundation. And then I'm going to cast Sending on Yurth.
Okay.
Why would you take away my button? I thought that was a special moment between us. Goodness. So rude.
You
And then
hear
I'll-
you hear the reply in your head, and it goes, when you get back, you will report to the lower decks. Your house is being downgraded.
So dead. We're so gonna pay for that.
But they don't know that yet. It was a prize
Yes,
voting change.
only you know it right now. So with that, you catch
Maybe we'll
up
get-
with Fizzle and Henry, as they're like probably making their way back in the direction of the house, unless you want to go someplace else.
No, I'll just tag along.
All right, so you guys tag along and you make it back to your current house.
I have left at this point because I went to go and acquire some things for my costume change.
Okay. What would you like to have acquired during this?
When I leave, do I hear any rumors about what's been going on?
You also would see Fred is up for the thing, and then that's probably the biggest thing going on. And you've heard of like the wasps in the tavern and the grinding gears.
One second. Do I see Fred anywhere?
You would see him at like the center of this little group.
I'm going to wave to Fred because I am not aware that Fred is an actual person. And I'm going to wave to him. I'm going to be like, Steeladingus, I didn't know you changed your clothes and hair again.
Dingus. Right.
If you haven't noticed, I've mispronounced everybody's names in different ways every time.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like a pause. When did you think you left the house?
A little bit after them. Like, I was rummaging through James's Sealer Days collection of things.
So
To get, like,
Day.
what there was and wasn't there, and then I
You're
left.
probably heading down the stairs, so you're a ways away. But you do see Chick at the disciplinary hearing, and it looks like they're calling out and waving towards the group. If this would change anything. But yeah, you just see that as you're walking down the stairs, just because you have passive perception of 18, and it's a big open area. You know? So, you would see that they have shown up at the hearing.
I'll like jog over and like tap him on the shoulder.
It's going to
What are
take
you
you
doing?
a minute or two to get there, unless you
Okay.
want to start sprinting.
I'll tumble because it gives me the same as a dodge action
So
and
you-
as a
But you want to
dash.
start moving as fast as you can in that direction.
Yes,
All right, so Fizzle,
because tumble lets me dash.
you guys make it to the end of the stairs, and just in time you hear this clattering from above you. And you see Seal Day, and it looks like he's gone into a full roll, and he's like just started booking down these stairs at a very impressive clip. Are you moving past them? Or are you stopping to say anything to them?
Nope, I'm just going to catch up to metal-bound
Okay,
idiot over
then
there.
I want to have this conversation, and I'll let you know when you show up.
Okay.
Fizzle, would you follow him, or would you just be like, "Fuck, that's weird," sort of thing?
I don't want to know what he's into now.
So you're just like, so you and Henry are just like, "We're going home," sort of thing, right?
No, this can't be anything. No, I don't know what's up with him. Oh my god.
All right. So you
I need coffee. It's too early in the morning for this.
all right. So, meanwhile, at this hearing of Fred, you say that, and everyone just kind of like turns and looks towards you, and Fred starts yelling. He's like, "See that," and he just starts going around, and someone like shushes them, and you get approached by the same elf with like the cog tattoos and the hammers, and they're just like, "Ah, Chick, would you like to join us here and just perhaps clear up exactly what you meant by that?"
I did not realize my words were unclear. Of course, I am happy to further elaborate upon my meaning.
Well, how about I go through the events of last night and then you let me know where this differs? To my understanding, your group showed up, particularly the two outsiders, and they passed by here, but that's not important. You went to the Grinding Gears with
Yes.
Fred, correct?
I am unaware who Fred is. Day had changed his outer appearance, claiming that chaos is fun.
Okay, and you arrived at the Grinding Gears,
Yes.
and there was a brief conversation between this one, Ursula Day, and then he started buying everyone drinks.
Yes. He told me that I should attempt it because it is fun. I am unfamiliar with the concept of this fun, so I attempted to drink.
At this point
As
is when you
Seal-a-Day
show up,
discussed it.
Seal-a-Day, as you hear them say, "It was fun." And
Okay,
you,
so I didn't get the rest of the conversation.
yeah, you come in at that point of them saying it was fun, but you can hear this conversation, so you're present from this point forward.
Okay.
All right, so after that, you had these drinks. Do you recall much else, or do you know when this one or Day put up the pinata with the wasps?
I do not remember much. I do remember punching the wasps. Vaguely. I know I punched things that made me hurt a lot. At first, I thought that somebody had angered the gears because they sounded as if gears. I am unfamiliar with insectoid creatures.
Thank you. And just very quickly, Day is the tall one, the rabbit one, or the short one?
This one right here, and I'm going to point to him as he approaches. The one that just came tumbling down the staircase.
Oh. Well,
Which is odd because I thought, I'm going to point towards Fred, I thought that that was Day and that he had once again changed his appearance to that. But now he is up there. Although Day can create illusions, so perhaps he has mastered more complex illusions.
I'm dearly sorry, but the gist of my illusions are, and then I'm going to like pull out a card and then make it turn like a jack into a 10. I'm not very skilled at this.
At this point, the elf turns towards you, and she just goes, "Maybe I misspoke earlier. Maybe you do have a place with this council, if you would care to step into the middle and we could perhaps sort this out?
James, I rolled to see if my character would assume that that was you.
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
What are you going to do now?
Cast sending.
I-
You're help!
And so we lose
I'm
our
just
ball.
looking up a spell.
Thunder
And
away.
so we definitely lose our ball.
Is it fireball?
Someone walk?
Is that the spell we're going for? Fireball? I'm going to give you a little bit of time here, but not too much.
Oh no, I got it.
Okay.
I would like to try and sleight of hand cast calm emotions over the crowd.
Let's get that sleight of hand, and I will roll the. How many targets does calm emotions have? Let me check that.
It is each humanoid within a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range.
Yep, that should be able
So-
to hit them all. Like I said, they're all pretty much grouped together for this hearing. So, let me get the save going here. And your DC, I believe, is 16, correct?
Yes. And I got a 27 for sleight of hand.
You can see some of them start to visibly relax, but the elf directly in front of you still seems to have a little bit of a hard edge to her expression. As again, she gestures towards and she goes, "Please, step this way, Ceolidae. We just need to get to the bottom of this."
Of course, I would not like to lead anyone to any false issues, accusations. I merely wish to reveal the truth.
Okay. Fred steps back, and you can see he's talking to people, and he's like, "I told you it wasn't me. I fucking told you it wasn't me." And you can see he's pretty excited to no longer be in the center of this circle. And so Dulara speaks up again, and she goes, "So we've been informed, thanks to here." You walk by at this point, Fizzle, and you hear this announcement, if you care, as you're walking by on your way home. Anyways, Dulara is continuing, and she goes, "Fred might not have been the one at the grinding gears last night. Instead, it might have been this one, Ceolidae. I'm unsure how he pulled it off or what his capabilities are. He showed a little bit of minor illusion magic, but it
And
indeed might
I will
be
flash
him."
out for the crowd.
Alright,
I'll
so
show the jack into a 10. I'll be like,
he might have been the one at the inn last night. What would you like to say, Ceolidae, as these charges are being leveled against you, so you get to defend yourself, and then we'll go from there.
of
Do
course,
you-
of course.
Deny this, or do you admit this?
Of course I deny it. I mean, what cause would I have to ruin such a good tavern? If anyone here can attest, I was at the tavern just the other day, and I put on a lovely show for all the folks there. I made only a few coins. I mean, in one case, I don't have that much gold to my name, so I don't think it's likely I could have bought drinks for everyone. I don't happen to have a piñata. Yes, it is true that I do have outfits. I have a lot of clothing and makeup and all the like. I willingly admit that.
Let's
But
get
it's
back on
purely
topic
from my own
here.
vanity.
Why does this one, Justice Woods, claim that you appeared as Fred last night?
I mean, it is entirely possible. I was trying to dress up last night. I like to work on my appearance, and I'll show them my my tool belt full of grooming supplies and all the like. I like to dress up. I will admit, vanity is my sin.
And where did you go
It's-
last night if you were dressing up?
Nowhere. I was dressing up purely for myself. and then I retired to my room. I do change my outfits often.
Roll a deception with disadvantage.
Side note, I have stopped, but I waved Henry to
18,
continue.
and that is another
Continue.
16, so
He walked a few steps, but then he like looked back and saw you weren't moving, and he's also like stopped.
So I rolled
He
two
moves back
six-
towards you, and he goes, I just don't know if I should. Should I? Do I?
What?
Am I staying here? Are you coming?
I'm gonna listen in. Go
I'll-
on.
What if I want to listen?
Yeah, well, it's a free world as far as I know.
Oh, this is getting. I'll just go home. You made this weird. And he continues on his way. What did you get for your deception?
I got a 16 on the die, then rolled again because disadvantage. I got another 16,
Okay.
so I have a 26.
26. Some people look more skeptical than others. It seems like the vast majority, though, is kind of nodding along. Like, makes sense. He is a bit of a fop.
And did the person who looked like Fred sound like Fred? Like, was it Fred's voice? Does anybody know?
The innkeeper speaks up last night, and he says, Fred's voice was a little off, but he said he was working on something. And you hear Fred go, "No, I didn't."
If it helps cover my case at all, and I'll like clear my throat and make a kind of like a big act of like trying to imitate Fred's voice, kind of growly and scratchy.
Okay.
See, I'm not good at making voices. I hate to lead people astray, but this is the situation. And I want to probe Fred's mind.
I'd like to go over to
Would detect thoughts, or...
Fool's insight.
Okay.
So it is he needs to beat a 16. And I need to know if he's resisting or if he lets me probe it.
It seems like he failed.
Okay. What is he thinking about?
He's thinking this bastard stole my identity, and now he's trying to get me kicked out of my city, all because I stopped him from stealing. He's a no-good runt, and I want to find him later. Whether I'm guilty or not, he's gonna fucking pay himself. And you can see he's just like, kind of like, grinding his knuckles into his hands, and the more you're talking, the madder it seems like he's getting.
Also, he didn't stop me from stealing. I said I would watch his post for him.
Yeah, but he's still, that's the assumption he's now made on your character, is that he stopped you from stealing. He has nothing good to say about you as you're probing his mind. He has these wild stories of you being a thief, a con artist, and a liar at this point.
I need to check Fool's Insight to see if they know that I'm probing, because there's something that happens if they pass and they resist.
That's if you probe deeper. Surface thoughts, you don't have to do that.
Well, that'd be for
Yeah.
like detect thoughts. Fool's Insight is something the satire bard
Oh.
gets.
Oh.
Detect thoughts up to a number of times equal to my charisma modifier, regain after using a long rest. If a creature resists your attempt to probe deeper in success at its saving throw against it, detect thoughts, immediately suffers from an embarrassing social gap.
Oh yeah, it is indeed just you cast detect thoughts. That would be much easier to just say that.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright. So, at this point, Lara kind of turns to the crowd and says, does anyone else want to add or elaborate to this story?
I'd like to whisper to Fizzle Waterly. Why is Ciolade being dishonest? I do not understand the concept.
Because he's very bright.
I would like to kind of speak up, and I'll be like, well, It seems like there's a bit of a predicament. Someone who is either Fred or someone who said who attempted to appear like Fred. People think it might be me. I do not know the situation. I do not know how this is fit to resolve. But if there's any way that we can make amends, and I'll gesture between the two of us, I would not wish for someone innocent to be ruled guilty. So if there's a way that him and I could atone for this until we find the actual culprit.
There's some mumbling around the crowd. Roll a persuasion check.
23.
23. Yes, there's quite a bit of grumbling, and then some voices start getting raised. Some people just calling to punish you both. Some of them saying to let you go. And Lara kind of speaks up at this point, and she goes, "The bard speaks wisdom in this case. To my understanding, these three are leaving the city," and she gestures towards you two and then far to the back towards Fizzle, who hasn't quite joined the group, but has made their way over too. "We could perhaps continue this investigation, figure out what we could or could not do while they are gone, and pick this up once they have returned. But for all we know, whatever needs to be done or whatever happens could indeed count as his atonement, depending on how it goes."
Innocent
simply-
until proven guilty, of course.
I'm not saying innocent. I'm simply saying we postpone it and perhaps let karma deal with whatever it is that it feels it needs to be dealt with. But
Of
Fred,
course.
you will still be helping to clean the grinding gears, whether or not you were there or not. And you see, like, he looks like a little miffed at that, but like the innkeeper is like nodding like enthusiastically at that. Does that sound fair to everyone? We will return to this once Day has returned, depending on the state of however his excursion goes.
Can I want to cast Detect Thoughts on him again, and I want to push.
On Fred?
Yeah.
Okay.
DC to beat is 16.
Well, in this case, you don't get to push deeper, but you see he locks eyes with you. And you see he starts to get like the fucking slightest little grin. And you can almost feel like, because you still get like the surface sensations, right? Even if you can't probe deeper, but you get affirmation.
Did he beat my DC?
Yeah, he got a 16 on the die.
He shits his pants.
Excuse me? What?
Yep. Welcome to I will pull it up for you.
No, I got it right here.
Yep. An embarrassing social gaffe. I get to choose what he does.
And
He lets out a grimy, loud, wet shit.
Alright, so you
Is
see...
it a shit or is it a shark?
Is that why he grins?
Yeah, so you you see him, like, he starts to grin, and you get the feeling of affirmation, and then suddenly you get the feeling of fear, and then you all just hear, like, a... And you watch as his hands fly back, and he just starts, like, moving away from the rest of the group, and he's like, I need to be excused. I'll be at the grinding gears
And I'm
tonight.
like, oh goodness!
he
Did you just poop yourself?
he takes off as fast as he can. And everyone else just kind of stands there dumbfounded. The people nearby sniff the air and they move away from where Fred was.
I'm gonna spring away from it. I don't think that's sanitary.
Wow, James, you are just doing so much stuff to this poor man.
Oh, fuck him.
I don't think he will fuck you now.
Right.
Yet.
Allah is like trying to like get everyone to calm down, but like everyone is kind of dispersing, and she's just like, she calls out, she's like, when you get back, I'll find you. This conversation isn't over, just postponed.
All you have to do is sing my name, and I will come.
And with that, everyone just kind of disperses. Some of them are like, I want to go check on Fred. And then
You know,
Henry's like, he's gone. He's back at home now. And it's just you guys kind of standing there.
like, imagine you had 2 Baconators and then a gallon of milk, and that's like lactose intolerance Baconator shit. Like, that was the kind of stuff that hit the fan.
Jesus Christ.
This poor man deserves none of this shit from you, Games.
Right. So with that, are you guys off to pack your stuff, or what's next on the old to-do
I
list?
still need to go and acquire a couple of components for my costume.
Okay, what would you like to acquire?
Just like some clothing items that weren't in James's thing, you know.
So shall we say
If
about
he has an eye patch, I need just a couple of clothing items: boots, tunic, proper pants, gloves.
so shall we call it about 10 silver?
Sure.
So you go and you acquire those. But meanwhile, Fizzle and Day, what would you two like to do?
I'm going to head back to the house and probably pack up my belongings, make sure everything's set for heading out.
Okay, are you packing up everything or just...
Probably not. Probably just necessities.
Alright.
Couple
Well-
extra things of clothes.
Alright, well just make sure you know what you have on you and what you don't.
Yep.
Okay. And Fizzle?
Tossing what I think I'll need for our excursion,
Alright, well make sure you know what you bring and what you don't.
and then making some coffee.
A lot of coffee.
Alright, so while you're doing this, arrives back, and it looks like they brought several pairs of pants and whatnot with them. As you're making your coffee and get everything all nice and set up. Because you guys took a moment or two to pack, right?
So Rockwell, the rabbit's name was Rockwell, right? That's what someone
Roswell.
notes.
Henry Roswell.
Ah, what time would you like to head out? Since this is your excursion, I think we can do the
I
finer.
would say probably the sooner the better, just to get there and figure out what's going on. I'm hoping it's a quick little visit to High Meadows.
All right. Well, I am good to go whenever you are, and I'll just kind of reach back and like pat my bag.
Anybody want some coffee before we leave?
Oh, no thanks.
Chick.
Nice
Coffee?
cup of coffee actually seems quite lovely.
All right, sugar.
I would
Yes,
prefer
please.
your assistance
4.
in a few matters.
Okay, I'll hand them both a cup of coffee.
Do you add the full sugar for him?
No, no. I'll give you a small canister that I unscrew. There, sugar.
I'll just like upend it.
That was purified sodium. If you know what that does when it hits liquid.
Why don't you describe what that does when it hits a liquid?
Fucking explosion. That coffee is just all over the fucking room.
I'm just gonna deadpan take off my clothes again, set fire to it on the ground, and walk back into my room.
Now that, my friend, is a practical joke.
I'm gonna come back out in one of like the same outfit, and just chuck the now burning mess into the bucket.
I'm going to turn to you and say, it has become apparent to me that I do not understand the concept of practical joke. It has involved harming the reputation of this person, Fred, who I was unaware existed, and yours involved making a mess upon not only him, but us as well.
It's a
It seems to
complicated
be a
concept.
waste of time.
No, it's
intended
funny.
to harm people in mundane ways.
Like I said, it's kind of a difficult concept. I really, now that I think about it, it's not really something that I can explain.
Then why do you attempt such things?
Because it's funny.
Do you take pleasure in harming and inconveniencing other beings?
Well, not what he did, but what I did. Oh yeah, that was definitely funny.
But now there's a mess to clean up, and you have wasted important materials,
I'll clean it up. I have
and nothing
plenty
has been gained from it.
I have plenty of that stuff, and I'll clean up when we get back.
Then the mess will set, and vermins will move in.
I'll get some good acid or something. Don't worry, it'll cut right through it. And if it attracts ants, hey, more biomass for the city.
You're not wrong.
Henry's just kind of like standing back there, and you just hear like the tiniest squeak. He goes, I, I, I thought it was kind of funny.
Thank you.
And you're turned towards Henry, and what is it that makes it funny?
Well, it's more of the fact that this one has been going around, doing pranks, and it was funny that this time he's the one that got pranked, and it's kind of like one of those, the karma thing that it's it's just funny the shoes on the other foot.
But no shoes were involved.
Okay, well, thank you for that insight, and I'll keep that in mind. But I still think it was funny.
Fair enough, all are entitled to their opinions.
So, what machine are we taking this time?
First, I require some assistance. I require your help changing these pants into the coverings of my legs. I shall have to take off the metal in some places so it will lay properly, I believe.
Blowtorch, rivets, screws. What do you need?
More needle, thread, and extra hands.
Okay, needle and thread. Yeah, I think I got that somewhere around there. Definitely have hands. We'll
You
get
do not require your own. I have mine. I will just need help smoothing the leathers down and making sure everything sits comfortably upon myself.
Then I will assist Jack with the extra. Disguise.
I would like to use prestidigitation to clean up the coffee and just kind of clean things up.
Okay, well, once that's done, are we leaving now then, or do we still have other things to do?
I'm about ready now that I have a clean set of clothes and one less coffee.
There's some more right over there. There's even some real. The real sugar is actually in the cupboard.
I'll like go scoot over and grab a cup and then just fuck it up with sugar. Just start taking like nursing sips of it. I believe we should be fairly good to leave as soon as gets their disguise together.
Yeah, I don't have anything extra to do.
So are we just going to fast forward getting ready?
Yeah, that's
If you guys wish to.
well, yeah, if that's everything you guys want to do, then are you good? Oh yeah.
I guess. I
Right.
don't believe there's anything else I need to accomplish in character.
And you know what ground shaker you guys want to take?
The same one we took last time.
Alright, the flopper then?
Yeah.
Alright, so with that, you guys gather your stuff. Sans some coffee, but with some good replacement coffee. You pack up your belongings, you take what you think you need, and you head down to the launching bay. The flopper actually is still pretty much in place where you guys left it last, so it's easy enough to get in there, bring your stuff, buckle up, and that is actually where we will be ending today's session. So, for everyone on Twitch and YouTube, thank you for joining us for this session, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next Wednesday. Bye bye.